Chelsea throw away a 1-0 lead at home at Stamford Bridge to Burnley. It ends 1-1, courtesy of a late equaliser, as we say, from Vidra of Burnley. A big advantage handed to Manchester City and Liverpool, of course, in action tomorrow afternoon on Sky Sports Super Sunday to close the gap. At the top after Chelsea had an opportunity to pull away for only a few hours. They were the better team. They were dominant today at Stamford Bridge, but they couldn't finish their dinner. And then out of nowhere, Burnley equalized the game. I want to get Chelsea fans' thoughts and feelings on this show. Of course, we're sponsored by the wonderful people at Boo Hoo Man. Now, if you want to get yourself a nice bit of clobber, a nice bit of gear, a nice bit of drip, some new garms, depends where you're from, you might say it differently, 40% discount with the Football Terrace by using promo code TFT40. That is on the screen now and in our description below. 40% of their clothing, a number of their clothing ranges, so go check it out right about now. But Chelsea fans, I want to hear from you. How are you disappointed? Are your thoughts like, well, we're still top? This isn't too much of a big deal. I want to understand what's going through your minds right now, ladies and gentlemen, live on the Football Terrace as well. I'm going to go to your comments right here. Champions of Europe and top of the league is what Chelsea Love has got to say. Not too bothered about it at all. Where are we saying here? I want to get some more comments here. Strip Bear said 5-0. I don't quite understand that, Strip Bear, but thank you. Twisted says, get in there, Palace. Of course, Palace picked up. Did Palace pick up the victory? I know they were winning. They did. They won 2, or they're winning 2-0. Another good victory for them. All finishing was awful today is what Aaron's got to say. I think most Chelsea fans would agree with you. The finishing today is really what let Chelsea Football Club down. There's no point. When I'm looking down, by the way, it's because the monitor's down there and the camera's a little bit higher in this set. We have a super chat here that's come through from Man Like Lang and Sweet, who says, Chelsea fans beating Burnley is not for everyone. A little bit of banter in there. A little bit of banter coming in there. Chelsea wasn't boring today. Yeah, I watched the whole game. I wouldn't suggest it was boring for a single second. Just that lack of killing the game off has really let Chelsea Football Club down today. And, these are the types of matches that you do need to be winning to win these league titles. I think that Chelsea are still my favourites. I'm not going to yield on that because of a poor result. But Burnley at home, you should be putting away, especially when you look at, as you say, the plethora of chances, the total dominance you had in the game. And if Jay Rodriguez had a bit more about himself, he had an opportunity in the dying moments to maybe even nick the game in many ways. 25 shots today Chelsea had. The biggest problem was only 4 were on target. And that was real damaging. And you will find Man City fans and Liverpool fans are plenty celebrating right now. They really, really will be. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. What else are we looking at here? City back in it. City were also in it. But do you know how mad today is? This is the topsy-turvy nature at the top of the table. If City would have lost today and Chelsea would have won, that's 8 points. And I personally don't see anybody pulling back at a 9-point swing to get in front of Chelsea in a title race. But City won and Chelsea dropped points. So suddenly the gap closed rather than be lengthened. Nobody really predicted a Burnley win today. So that's what's amazing about the title race. Dimitri here says, we move on, Terry. We know what we are. We know what we are. Also is the phrase pattern of play. The phrase isn't pattern of play. I've said to a few people have got kind of close with some things they've done. If this stream gets past 1,000 likes, we will give you another clue for the secret phrase where we're giving away a brand new Xbox and a limited edition or a special edition Boohoo Man hoodie, courtesy to yourself. Any size you want, we'll get that for you sent through. I did miss a super chat. No, I didn't miss a super chat. It's below Dimitri's. It's below Dimitri's. I will find it here. Let's go here. Where we at? Just one of those games. We move. We remain top. Ads here says all these injuries and just 2 points dropped. We'll take it. Nick Pope was brilliant. I think he commanded his box. Look, Nick Pope's a very good goalkeeper. Let's not get away from that. I didn't think he had too much to do today. Only 4 shots on target. 1 went in. It was just more about Chelsea not being at their absolute best today. But we know Chelsea are going to bounce back. We just know these little sort of hiccups they've had, like today, are very few and far between, and they always have been, and they always will be. Original base Annie here says Chelsea still gonna win the league, is what he thinks and he feels after dropping points today. Very interesting. Battle of the buses. Come on, man. Chelsea don't park the bus. They don't park the bus. Evening, Terry. Is the secret phrase in his prime years? You are on the right tracks, but it isn't quite right. Keep those guesses coming in, my wonderful, wonderful audience. This is where Thomas Tuchel will be tested, Terry. Can they come back next game? That's a very good question. And I would say this about Thomas Tuchel, and can he bounce back? Can he return? We saw what happened. He changed things up against Manchester City, got caught out, lost, bounced back. Look at the results after the Manchester City defeat. Impeccable. So it's a bad day in the office today. Burnley have had a habit over years gone by of being a bit of a bogey team at times for Chelsea and causing them problems. Thomas Tuchel and this Chelsea team will bounce back. Without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, they will bounce back because they are brilliant. And when you're that good of a football team, invariably you will bounce back. That's just the nature of the beast, as far as I'm concerned. Invariably, they'll bounce back. So I wouldn't be worried or concerned at all if I was a Chelsea fan about falling away or crumbling or going on a bad run. I don't actually think we're going to see Chelsea, City, or Liverpool go on terrible runs, 4 or 5 games only picking up 1 win, maybe a draw, 2 or 3 defeats. I don't think any of those teams are going to do it. They're too good. They're too good at squads, and their managers are absolutely sensational. Sensational. And when you have a world-class manager with a brilliant system, you're going to be okay. You're legitimately going to be okay. Joshua Jack here says one thing to concern with Chelsea is that when they eventually need a goal to finish off a game, they struggle at it. Major credit to the Ginger Mourinho. Yeah, and I think that is an area that Chelsea fans know they need to improve in. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think Chelsea fans in their heart of hearts know killing games off has been a concern, has been an issue. But they'll be okay. They will be okay. I think that they'll turn that on at some point. The fact that what I would focus on is the fact that they are top. They are top of the league. Current European champions. So I'm making an update here. Current European champions. They'll be okay in my mind. I really do think they will be. Maria Williams of a super chat here says, and this is not Maria Williams, says, in their heyday, that isn't the secret phrase. Is the phrase in his pomp? It's not in his pomp. Is the phrase winning the Ballon d'Or? No. Is the phrase top of their game? No. But you're all in the vicinity. You're all in the vicinity. You're in the vicinity. That's all I'm going to give. If we hit 1,000 likes, like I said, I will give away another clue today. What else are we saying here? Let's keep smashing that like button for. It's really important to the terrace that you get that done. Now, keep those guesses coming. Is it longevity? No, it isn't longevity. It isn't longevity. I will give you another clue if we hit the 1,000 like mark on this. Someone said I missed a super chat. Whose super chat did I miss? Where's it gone? I can't find your comment now. From Hamid. Hamid. Where's your super chat? I did. Sorry. It says, how Vidra, as in the Marvel thing. I get you. Brexit ball stops terrorism ball. Will batter West Ham even if they end up losing. I won't be that bothered now. Well, yeah, again, the game against West Ham gives Liverpool an insurance card should they drop points because Chelsea only gained 1. So totally hear you on that. I mean, should Liverpool lose, today's result for Chelsea turns into more of a positive because they pull 1 point further away. So, but there's a big incentive now for Liverpool to go into the international break joint level with Chelsea. And that's going to make the title race very, very exciting indeed. Indeed, it will. Is the phrase player of the year? No, the phrase is not player of the year, but that is another very good guess. James says leagues not won in November. No, but you put your foundation in. Your foundation's already in by now. You're now sort of building up the base. If you get yourself 7, 8, 9 points clear over this period, you haven't won it, but you have such an advantage. And I don't think that should be discounted. I don't think it should be discounted. Abdullah says, Liverpool fan here. Haven't watched the game, but I'll take that as something to be happy about. The secret word is legacy. The secret word isn't legacy, but thank you very much for your super chat. Dinesh says, Terry, I think the first team to win 10 or more games wins the league. You mean in a row or in total? Whoever wins the head-to-heads against the top 6 wins the league, is what Dinesh is in here saying today. Thank you, sir. JJ here says, Terry, I'm kind of upset with the result. We should have been up to at least 3-0 at half-time, but is the phase at his peak best? That isn't the phrase. And I understand. I think Chelsea fans should feel frustrated. I think there should be an element of annoyance and frustration and almost disappointment that you didn't pick up these 3 points today and apply that pressure to Liverpool. Does it mean you throw baby out with the bathwater and start going on a mad one? No. But I think there should definitely be an element of disappointment. I would be disappointed in that situation. No doubts about that. At the peak of their power. That isn't the secret phrase, but thank you very much for having a guest. Remember, we are giving away a brand new Xbox and a Boohoo Man limited edition hoodie as well. I'm going to share the link now for you to come on, have your say. I haven't actually seen none of the boys from the terrace. Where are they all at? Where's everybody at? I don't know where no one is. Everyone's busy now. The world's going, my boy Phil's here. The world's going back to normal, isn't it? Everyone's out and about. Everyone's living their best life. So it's me. Listen, I like chatting to you guys. You're my favorite peoples. So I'm going to share the link now. Terry is twerking for Chelsea. Not really. Not really at all. I've said some stuff here. I've said some stuff today, and I stand by what I say. Call in now. I'm going to share the link. That link's been shared. I'm also going to pin the link to call in into the live comment section. I want to hear from you. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings, especially Chelsea fans today. I want to know how you're feeling, because some of you seem a little bit too relaxed for just having drop points at home. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking you're relaxed. Maybe there's a reason you feel so relaxed. I want to know. Terry Wood, where's it gone? So did I miss your super chat as well? Oh, yes, you did. Is it body of work? No, it isn't body of work, my friend. It isn't. Is the phrase greatest player? No, that isn't the phrase. That isn't the phrase at all. Jay says, I'm not relaxed. I like that you're not relaxed. Right, first caller of the show. I'm getting on. Man like Lamin's going to join me now to have his say. Lamin, welcome back to the terrace, bro. Give me your thoughts. 1-1 with Burnley.
Yes, Terry. I think very disappointing to come out with a draw. But I feel like we've kind of got very complacent over the past couple of games because we don't concede many goals. And this was one of the things that always faded me, because I knew that it was coming. If we don't finish teams off 1-0 is always a dangerous scoreline. And I'm hoping from now on, when our strikers come back, like Lukaku coming back and Werner coming back, that will give us what we need to actually like go on and get that second goal and the third goal. Because once we go 2-0 up, I kind of have faith like in our defense that we don't concede that many goals. But today it just happens to be that Burnley just caught us out, and like we just went to sleep for 5 minutes and then they scored. But I'm not really all that worried, because they have enough credit in the bank. So I'm not going to go out there and just be like, oh, it was so shit, like just drop everyone. There's actually plenty of positives. Ross Barkley was very good today, even though he should have scored. I felt like he was really good. Hudson-Odoi, again, he should have scored, but again, very good. So like plenty of good performance apart from that 5-minute spell where we just went off. But I still have faith we're still going to win the league. And I love the fact that rival fans are rattled and just saying that, oh, what is it, terrorist football or whatever, man. But I just love it still. I see a lot of people saying crazy stuff. I just hope that you clip them, because come the end of the season, We will see. So I'm just keeping it quiet, going about our business. But we're still gonna win the league. It's no problem still. So that's what I gotta say.
Listen, Lamin, thanks for calling in, mate. Long time no speak. Look after yourself, bro. We'll speak soon. Top man. Thank you. Next on the show, I'm going to go to Drizzy. Drizzy's here with us now. Who do you support, Drizz?
I support Liverpool.
Okay, lovely, mate. Obviously, big result for yourselves today. Good opportunity to close that gap with Chelsea at the top. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah. For some reason, I still think they're going to win the league, though, Chelsea, because of their defense, and they can still get goals from anywhere, even though like Lukaku and Werner are not there. I don't know. I just feel like they'll still be that good of a team.
Why do you put why do you put them above your club? What makes you think they'll finish above Liverpool?
They're just unpredictable, Liverpool. Like teams that you expect them to lose, they'll win, but then teams that you think they're going to win easily, they just don't win it. So I can't really like we can definitely win. I feel like we're more favored to win the Champions League more because it's like a one-off game. So I feel like it's easier that we can, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we win the Champions League or the Premier League, but I don't know. 38 games, it's going to be hard to win the Prem, especially with teams like Chelsea and Man City.
Listen, I understand your train of thought, and it's interesting. Most Liverpool fans I speak to put themselves as favourites, and it's interesting to hear a different kind of flavour, really. But, bro, appreciate the call, Drizzy. Speak to you again soon. Thank you very much indeed. Top man. Thank you. Next on the show, Slendz Talks is here. Big Chelsea fan. Give me your thoughts and feelings, mate.
Yeah, I hope you're doing well, man. No, listen, today is disappointing, obviously, but you play this game 9 times out of 10, you're winning 3-4-0. So I'm not necessarily concerned because the big issue that we were talking about, number one is that we play better without Lukaku, and number two is that we don't create enough chances. Now both those things were debunked today. That we created more than enough chances, we just didn't finish them. We know we've got a 98 million striker waiting on the bench who's injured, who will finish those chances, and he is referred to as a flat track bully between parentheses. So obviously this is the kind of game he would thrive in. So I'm not necessarily concerned. Each one of our front three had a big chance missed. So to me, it feels like Barkley again comes in, was impressive, but kind of like outdoes all of us good work in about 1 minute because of that chance missed. But no, listen, I'm not concerned because listen, if you ask Man City fans, after the Palace loss, they weren't concerned because they know like these kind of games happen in the Premier League. Like, listen, we call it the best league in the world for a reason. Yeah. So we can't call it that at the same time and be like, oh, like this result is a shocking result. Like, it happens. It does happen. I still think we're up there. I still think we're one of the favourites for the league. So to me, it's not concerned, man.
Yeah, listen, I would be. I was we were speaking about this today. Somebody was like Terry, like, why with Man United when you lose, do you kind of like have these meltdowns and frustrations? I'm like, brother, I've got no hope. There's no hope. I had hope at the beginning of the season, 17, 18 games into the overall campaign, and it's done. With Chelsea, you guys kind of, someone asked a question earlier in the early part of the show. Do you think Chelsea will bounce back from this? It's like, yeah, like there's no shadow of doubt. If Liverpool were to lose against West Ham, none of us are going to predict they're going to fall off the edge of a cliff. The same with Manchester City. So I'd be disappointed in the day, but you've got much better days to come this season. You know you have.
So Terry, listen, what's brilliant about this as well is that he brought on someone like Barkley and he performed well. He brings on someone like Loftus-Cheek and he performs well. Like, I'm usually the pessimistic person here, yeah? But I'm looking at the positive side. Like, genuinely, like, the people he brings in, they want to prove themselves and they want to get into the first team. Someone like Mount, I know he's been ill, but he's going to have to work to get back into the team. So whenever he gets that chance to perform 10 minutes, he's going to perform well. So is Pulisic. Yeah. So it's nothing but positives for me, man. Like, I was very, honestly, for 75 minutes, I was very, very impressed. But in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? I got a feeling Burnley going to score one because that's just Burnley. Like, we know what Burnley are. I can't wait to see them relegated, but they're a terrible team to come up against.
KJ, I agree with you on that. Listen, my guy, always appreciate your support on the channel, mate. And we'll speak to you again soon, brother.
Big up, bro. Thank you.
Take care, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Sammy here says, humbling defeat. Need to convert our chances, but Tuchel and the boys will know that. We had better attacking players coming through as well. Lots of positives. I hear you on that. There's also another super chat that I haven't missed. It is here. I've just got to go and find it. Is that it there? There it is. It says, annoyed, especially with the chances we had. We'll have a full squad after this. The internationals will be back okay. Why do fans think that great defending equals parking the bus? Let me be honest with you, and I'm being a bit of a killjoy for the banter. People are only attacking the way Chelsea play because they're afraid. Chelsea were used as a bit of a stick to beat other clubs with, like Man United, even by rivals, the back end of last season. Oh, if you guys did what Tuchel... I remember Liverpool fans, City fans, Arsenal fans saying to me, your club should do what Chelsea did. Look how great it is. Now they're seeing Chelsea like bona fide threats to them maybe winning a title again. And it's like they're just trying to downplay it. Chelsea don't play... Chelsea is entertaining as Liverpool. No. Are they as good as Liverpool? Yes. And that's all I would concern myself with if I was a Chelsea fan. Okay, no one's going to recognize your great football. Great. Man United have a team that won the treble. And when you speak to rivals, some don't even put them as the top 5, top 6, top 7. I've even heard rivals say not even in the top 10 Premier League teams of all time. Do you think I care? Man's won a treble, bruv. That's what I would focus on if I was yourselves. Right, next on the show, Arsenal fan with us, man like Curran is here. What you saying, bro?
You're right, Terry. Yeah, I just wanted to come in because we always talk Arsenal, United, or it's good to talk something else for a change. And I think all this result shows is that how strong the Premier League is this season, and how it's not as like it's one of the closest leagues I've ever seen in my lifetime. Anyway, I mean, look at the table now. You've got 10 points between Chelsea and Wolves in 8th. It's mental. We're getting it. I know it's 10 games in, but like it's every game. There's no easy games anymore. And if you look at that Crystal Palace Wolves game, a very, very decent game. I wouldn't be surprised if those were 2 top 6 teams going at it. They were both playing at very high quality. Like look at all the games we've seen in the past couple of weeks. We have quality week on week on week in this league, and the quality's been at such a level that there's no gimme games. Like even Brentford today went to Norwich and struggled. Like they really did, and Norwich came away with I think I didn't catch the end of it, but I think it was 2-1 to Norwich at the end. But if you look at the quality of the league, there's no gimme games, so you're always on edge and you're always looking at below you. So I don't really see as it to being. I mean, I understand that there's 3 elite title contenders: Liverpool, Chelsea, and City, but you have to look at these runs right now and see who are the people that are able to sustain the results over 90 minutes, get the results at the end of the day. Because at the moment it's Chelsea, but 10 games time, are we still going to be saying Chelsea? Are we still? Are City going to come back into it? Liverpool going to come back into it? Like, what is it? Like, it's just a lot.
I get your point, but based on your logic, we can never make a prediction because your predictions are based on predictions can only be based on what we're seeing. And everyone, you can make a prediction based on even a lot of people say, I see it falling away, but you only see it falling away if you see a hole. So, for instance, if you see a team playing a certain way and they're winning, but you go, it's unsustainable because of these 3 reasons, it's something you see. With Chelsea, I see a team that rarely concede, the majority of the time get the job done and score the goals that they need. For nearly 12 months under Thomas Tuchel, have been almost unbeatable. They're European champions. I can't predict that they're going to have a fall off because there's nothing about how they play that suggests they will. The same as Liverpool. Liverpool conceding goals. And I haven't said they'll have a fall off and drop out the top 4 and go on a madness. I think it might be the reason they don't quite clinch the title. Same with City. The reason I think they might not quite clinch a title is because their clinical edge hasn't quite been there in a lot. I mean, they should have beaten Man United 5 or 6-0 today, and they didn't. No, De Gea made some good saves, but so I hear your point on that. Right now, Chelsea are still my outright favourites, but you are right. Below them, there are a lot of teams playing some very exciting football because of the quality of their managers, the Graham Potters. You know, Patrick Vieira is doing an amazing job at Crystal Palace.
Bruno Lage, etc.
Bruno Lage. I mean, you look at like Patrick Vieira, the one that really impresses me. First job within the Prem, first job at this level of football, and you think he's already instilled something that certain other big clubs in this country have been trying to do for 2 or 3 years now, and he's got them playing well. And by the way, Brighton squad, Wolves squad, the Palace squad, they're nowhere near the quality of Man United's, as an example, but they're playing very, very good football. So you are right. But the reason I think that this football is improving, it's becoming a harder league, is money and everything. But it's because we've got such a plethora of quality managers. And the teams that are starting to rise to the top are the ones with the better managers. Yeah. The teams that are starting to sink are the teams with the lesser managers, barring a little bit of like... Yeah. Man United have been able to a fifth right now, but that's because our squad's so superior in terms of player personnel. But I hear where you're coming from, mate. But do you think Chelsea will? Do you have a feeling Chelsea could regress after this, or are you confident they'll be there or thereabouts for the rest of the season?
I think they'll be there or thereabouts. And to clarify about your point about predictions, mate, we all make predictions. We're fans. Where we see what we see and we go with the evidence we see. You can make a prediction, but my point is that the league is very, very unpredictable. Like you can see, like for example, look at last weekend with the Brighton and the Liverpool results, and the City results. You have a lot of teams coming up, and my point is that the cream will obviously rise to the top, but the thing is, you have a period here where you're going through to see how many teams can really push it through. If I see Liverpool and Chelsea or City, if I see one of them start to pull away, I can say, you know what, that's the team. But at this moment in time, I just feel like, you know what I was trying to tell you at the beginning of the year about how until you get to about December, sort of January time, and the table starts to take shape, it's all going to be a bit of a jumble. It feels like that right now. It feels like teams are feeling like they can grab a point, and they can grab 3 points away.
I get that, and football's always been that way. But I still think when you look at Chelsea, City, and Liverpool, you look at their history. You look at their, Tuchel's recent 12-month window. I don't see them falling away. Teams like Palace and that, you always had it forever. I remember once upon a time back in the 90s where Wimbledon were top of the league in an early stage. These teams will have their purple patches. They'll never, generally speaking, they won't finish above the majority of the bigger clubs because their squad size and quality isn't good enough to sustain that. But the football can be very good in patches. I think Chelsea will be there or thereabouts no matter what. Current, really good call, mate. Top man. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, mate. See you in a bit.
Thank you. Next on the show, we're going to speak to Nick Toller. Long time no speak, Nick. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Terry. How are you, man?
Disappointed.
But
apart from that, I'm all good.
Yeah, I understand that, mate. But hopefully things will get better, And I mean, at the end of the day, coming from a Chelsea fan, this result isn't the worst thing in the world, Whilst we should have won this game, I mean, we created plenty of chances. I mean, we didn't have a full-strength team up front. That's a fact, Ross Barkley played for the first time in forever, and he actually, to be fair, he had a very good game apart from just shooting and his finishing. He looked very fit, he looked hungry, he looked passionate. He wanted to win the ball. He wanted to play those passes, man. It's something that I haven't seen for a while. And I think that's the main thing with Tuchel. He's really gotten into the psychology of these players, Even though whilst we've had quite a bit of rotation this season, especially up front with the injuries to Lukaku and Werner. I think this is a learning curve for us, obviously. We're going to get frustrated at times in a season, no team can be perfect. There will be teams like Burnley that will nick a goal off us. We'll get a draw there or thereabouts, and in a game that we should have won. But at the end of the day, you just have to look at the bigger picture, and you just have to move forward as Chelsea fans. And I think we have to come to the realization that yes, it was annoying that we didn't get the 3 points, but we'll build. And we've got Leicester coming back from the international break. We should have Lukaku back. Mount should hopefully be fully fit with his tooth issue. I don't know what's going on there, but we saw a tiny bit of him in this game. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to when football's coming back. So yeah.
Mate, I hear you on that, Nick. Great call. Top man. Thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Next up, Donny James is with us in the house. Smash the like button, people. Terry wants Chelsea to win the league. No, I don't want anyone to win the league. Well, I prefer Chelsea to win it than my two biggest rivals. So, yeah, maybe. But there we go. Donny James is with me now. What you saying, mate?
Terry, great to be back. Obviously, for Man U fans, if you want some positives, at least you're not Donny Rovers. But it's been an interesting one this week. And I think Chelsea's result against Burnley was very interesting. I think that Burnley got themselves a very hard-earned point. I think that the Manchester derby, Jesus Christ, Man United are in an absolute disaster. But I've said for months from an ownership point of view, how I relate them to Arsenal and how far they went down and how long it went now till they were back in the top 4. The Glazers will surely, slowly, in the next couple of years, they won't even worry about top 4 money anymore. They'll just scrap for Europa League money because they've got enough money in the bank anyway. It's going to happen. And unfortunately, the Man United board will not sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because they are happy with just getting the top 4 money because they think, oh, that's success. It's not success. Success is when you win trophies. Success is when you deliver memorable nights all around the world.
Yeah, I get that. What's your thoughts on Chelsea's game?
I thought it was very interesting. I think again, Chelsea just didn't have that end product, but you could tell that. I mean, Lukaku being out, Werner being sort of out of place. Havertz's goal was decent. Burnley's equaliser was good as well. Like I said, I think it was a good hard-earned point for Burnley. From a Chelsea point of view, I think it was just one of those blips that they'll get over. I think Chelsea will still be thereabouts, at the end of the season. From a Burnley point of view, maybe this is one of the results to look back on in May as one of the results that keeps them in the Premier League. So maybe it's one of those hard-earned points. But yeah, big up yourself, man. Big up the terrace, and everyone, please like, comment, subscribe on this stream, and use that promo code on boohooman.com.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, Donny James. Thank you. Listen, this is a short stream from us today. We're back tomorrow with more content for you as always. Please make sure you smash the like button before you leave. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. A big shout out to our title sponsors today, Boohoo. You can get 40% discount off of a large amount of their clothing range. All the details are now linked below. Use promo code TFT40 if your country has Boohoo Man available in it, and get 40% off. That's a big discount if you fancy refreshing your cupboard there. What's this person say? Terry rattled. No, I wasn't really rattled at what Donny James was saying. It was more, he's come in to speak about Man United and we were talking Chelsea. It's just sort of like off key a little bit, but there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, massive thank you to each and every single one of you. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And